Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. Nah, I'm just kidding. What's going on, you guys? Mikey here. Happy Halloween to anybody watching this. I actually kind of timed this pretty badly. First off, my beard is not proportionate. I thought it would be a lot. Uh, One side's growing, one side's not, but that's not the point. Um, if you're wondering what the costume is, I guess I'll stand up. I'm supposed to be the Nostalgia Critic. I have Jack Skellington pants on because Nostalgia Weed. I've been a big fan of his videos for probably since the beginning of the time. I found this hat. It's a detective hat. I don't know how long I've had this. I've had this for probably, God, since I was a kid. I was in middle school probably. 22 years old. This still fits my head somehow. Anyway, you're probably wondering why you clicked the video. Time to review one of the possibly biggest movies of the year, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Now, I dressed up like this, and I kind of timed it well because it's Halloween. You know, everybody's probably going to see the movie now. It's already been out for a couple days, so if you don't want spoilers, you could click off this video. If you do, I'm going to spoil a lot of it, or at least as much as I know. So, let's go ahead and talk about what this movie's about, and I'll give my personal take on what I saw. So, Five Nights at Freddy's, if you played the games, it's based off a series of games. There's a lot of them, so I'm only going to mention really the first one, because that's really the one they really reference the most. So, basically, the whole gist is Mike is a security guard with a little sister and a little brother who disappeared mysteriously. He wants to find out who kidnapped his brother when he was a kid. And by him I mean Mike. Mike, when he was a kid, his little brother Gareth got kidnapped, and he now has a sister named Abby, and he has to take care of her because his mom passed away and his dad disowned him. So he's now the caretaker of Abby, and Abby's been kind of struggling to, make friends, be a normal social person, and she has imaginary friends, and it's not good or healthy at all. So Mike thinks, I got to find a way to get a job, and obviously a career counselor named Steve mentions, hey, I got a security gig if you want to take it, and he was a security guard previously at a mall. That did not go well, and I'm not going to explain too much of that, but when you see the film, you'll understand. Like, if you've seen the film, you already know what happened. If you didn't, it makes more sense when you actually do see it. One thing that Mike decides to do is to work at a pizzeria. That's the security gig. There's these animatronics, the names of Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy. All four of them, they are basically the full front attraction to this entire pizzeria. It's just Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, and they're the four main events of the entire, all four of them, are the whole main event of this entire attraction. And I say attraction because it kind of feels like a theme park attraction, but it's a real pizzeria. Not in real life, I just mean in the film context, it's a real place. There's a lot going on, like the animatronics come to life. At one point they mentioned kids' souls are inside the animatronics. Like, okay. I have a couple complaints about this film. Obviously, the movie's fantastic. I just gave you the whole gist of the plot. See it for yourself. There's a lot of shit that goes down. To give my personal opinion on the film, I didn't mind it, but I have a couple of problems with the film. First of all, unlike the Mario movie that we got earlier this year, this has where the Mario movie has no plot or little to no plot, this one has way too much plot. And I think for a guy like me who doesn't do well with family, losing a family member or having someone disappear out of your life, that did not really go well for me personally. And I think it may go better for someone else who's into storytelling a lot more, but for a guy like me who actually lost a family member, this did not, or actually now maybe just a couple family members, this didn't go very well for me personally, and I didn't like it. And it kind of added to the aura that there's something spooky going on, like there's some weird stuff going on, which added to the atmosphere, but for me, I'm just not a fan of it. I just never liked it. That's why, I never watched movies like Pet Sematary. I just could never do it. I could never watch a little kid get run over by a truck, Even though I know what happened, I just could not bear to actually see the actual scene. But, you know, I just didn't do well seeing a kid disappear out of someone's life, and it hurt me a bit, just seeing that, so that did not do well. The casting choice of Josh Hutcherson, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, he's the kid from Zathura. He's the guy in the Hunger Games, or at least one of the guys in the Hunger Games. I don't know if he's like the love interest at one point, but he was in the Hunger Games. I don't like his casting, but I can understand why a lot of people like this casting. For a guy like me, if you knew the source material, the perfect man would have been Markiplier. I just think that he was the perfect guy for it. Hell, you could have given him a cameo at the beginning of the film. Like, literally at the beginning of the film, the security guard dies. But Markiplier wasn't in this. In fact, speaking of Markiplier, we had Matt Pat and Corey X Kenshin, which, great cameos by both of them. They did a very good job on their part. And Matt Pat did but hey, that's just a theory. He did that whole bit. But Markiplier not being in it didn't feel like a real Five Nights at Freddy's movie to me personally. So that kind of hurt that you didn't have him, or you didn't have, like, a couple other famous people. You didn't like Aunt Jane, or Jay. I think it's Aunt Jane. I could be wrong. But did not like her character at all. She seemed like a total tool, a complete bitch. Did not like her at all. I can understand why she was technically like a villain of sorts, but if she got killed by the end, like, she did get killed by Freddy. Spoilers, she got killed by Freddy later in the film, so I kind of knew that Freddy was going to kill her, but then I went, you know what? She deserved to die anyway. She was just terrible. Terrible human being. Literally, the whole character of Aunt Jane was, she just wanted Abby for tax money. That's it. She just wanted to be able to not pay her taxes. Or at least get, like, free government money. Something weird. And then her little escort, Doug. Poor Doug had to go through that. Like, poor guy should not have been in that diner, but, like, he wanted to get out. And then she's like, no, stay. So, was not a fan of Aunt Jane either. And then the animatronics. You know, obviously, didn't mind the animatronics. They were done by Jim Henson's Creature Shop. They did a great job on the puppeteering. Got no complaints. There is a couple of other things, you know, tiny little things like editing and stuff, but I didn't mind it. The writing could have been a little better on Scott Cawthorn's part. I feel like you made this a drama more than it should be. You're going into this as a supernatural horror film. This felt either like a comedy or a drama. This was like one or the other, and it didn't feel like an actual horror film, but it is labeled as a horror film. And then the supernatural element was just the kids' souls are in the robots, as I mentioned earlier. Again, not a bad movie. It's just, it could have been so much better. I feel like this had so much promise to shock a lot of people, and the critics did not go really well with this at all. I feel like a lot of people are going to take harm in the fact that it's not really scary per se, but it doesn't have to be. I had a couple laughs out of it. I just think this could have been such a better movie. And it kind of disappointed, but didn't disappoint. So I got, again, a couple laughs, but the family aspect was not a fan of it, and it just made me really sad. The rest of the film was pretty decent. If you didn't do the Dreamworld stuff, this movie could have been so much better. I feel like if you give the animatronics more screen time, that would have made a way better movie. Like, I don't care about, like, Mike going for his dream world, trying to figure out who killed or kidnapped his brother Gareth. I don't care. I don't care about that. That makes me depressed. I want to be scared and terrified by robots. These 4 robots that are supposed to somehow scare you. They're supposed to give you jump scares. And we barely got any of that either. That was another thing I was pretty mad about. There was barely any jump scares. The only jump scare I saw was from Foxy. That's it. Like, around the end of the film, Foxy jump scares me for no reason. But even I think Balloon Boy got one that shouldn't really be a jump scare, but it kind of was. Yeah, by the way, Balloon Boy's in this. A couple times, actually. But he doesn't really do much. He doesn't do that, hello. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. But anyway, decent film, giving it a 7 out of 10. This could have been such a better movie, and it kind of didn't disappoint, but did kind of disappoint. So if you like the film, that's your opinion. But for me personally, as a guy who doesn't really like horror films as much as he used to, or as someone who went into this thinking it's going to be like a comedy and was right, it was kind of a comedy. this could have been such a better movie, and I feel like we're not really taking in the idea that people really were waiting for this movie for a very long time. So if you're a fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's games, you'll love this movie. If you're not, you're really not going to like it. For me, who only played the first game, I didn't mind it. And I like the lore, I like some of the stuff. The Dreamworld stuff, gotta go. I don't care about it. I never cared for it. But if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Trying something different. I put in the description of my channel before, years ago, that I'm going to do film reviews, but I never actually did any film reviews, so this is my review. 7 out of 10. Decent film. If you want to go check it out, go for it and go check it out for yourself. I'm going to wait till The Holdovers comes out. That movie is going to be really good. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Excuse me. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.